Hey everyone, this is the second installment of my Prague vlog series. If you didn't see the first one already, go ahead and check that out first, but otherwise, let's dive right in. Off to Berlin. Got in around 4 p.m. and went to Brandenburg Gate, the memorial to the murdered Jews of Europe. It's a brilliant memorial, and classifying this versus on the tourism, it does it all quite tastefully. Wandered around the Berlin Wall until it closed at 9. Got a milkshake from McDonald's, cursed my weakness. Went to Bode Museum, which is beautiful, then the German History Museum. So much reading. After getting a lunch/dinner kebab, we went to the German Spy Museum, which was fun. DC's is better though. Hung around Berlin Mall again. Berlin's public transportation is the worst, and I hate it. Went to East Side Gallery, which was super cool. The YWAM team moved on to Berlin, so we met up with them. Finding lunch was a bit of a struggle, so we ended up at Subway. I ate way too much and gave myself a stomach ache because I never learn. We then went to Victoria Park and said our goodbyes. Grace and I went to Aldi National Gallery, which was stunning. I had to keep sitting down for my stomach. We found boba! It wasn't that great, but hey, boba! Of course that didn't help my stomach, so I had to bow out while Grace went to the Jewish Museum. We went to Charlottenburg Palace, which is cool, but Schönbrunns got him beat. But they had a cool park/garden we walked around and stood on the frozen lake. It was so cute, all the families and kids skating around. Almost makes one enjoy winter. We went to Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church, then walked around Tiergarten, ate some good bratwurst. Then back to the train to Prague. Home sweet home. Went to St. Vitus again with a different class. So cold. I couldn't feel my feet. Got things figured out for our Italy spring break. Power went out for a couple of hours, but CEA sent someone over to fix it. Otherwise uneventful, save for class and getting groceries from Tesco. We went back to St. Agnes for class to view the medieval art. It's all so beautiful, spiritual. I love gold backgrounds, man. Finally got the package for my parents from the post office. Retainer, grocery bags, gloves. DSG was just me and Greta, the leader. Network maps, y'all. Riding this on the 13th, like a champ. Lauren, Irene, Anna, Grace, and I got lunch at Cafe Louvre. I need to stop getting their hot chocolate every time I go, but it's so good. All other hot chocolate is ruined for me. Also, bread pudding for lunch, because my self-control is highly limited. Got another iced tea, peach from Dobra Voda. It's pretty good, a nice day out. Grace and I went to Karlovy Vary for the day. It was so beautiful. I love hiking, especially in cooler weather amongst the green. It was a dream. I was so full of energy in a way I haven't been in a while. At God, thanks. I had ice cream with waffles for lunch because I'm smart. For dinner, we went to the cafe and had gnocchi. They also had a ton of different flavors of hot chocolate. I got white chocolate pistachio. Good, but still not Cafe Louvre. Anyways, a super cute town. I recommend. Went to Naplovka Farmers Market with Grace, Lauren, and Anna. Then we headed to the Prague Market where I got a t-shirt and a pinky ring, which just makes me think of my friend from high school, Karina. Church! Wasn't in the greatest people mood, but it was a good sermon. Went to Light Park with Grace, Georgie, and Troy. A little awkward since I don't really know them, but oh well. Extroverting is Grace's thing. Also, it was 62 degrees. A miracle. I felt especially tired today, on the verge of sickness, but I think I'm fine. It rained, and it was kind of nice to please my California soul and just walk around in it. Went to Bethlehem Chapel with class. Yikes, writing this on April 3rd. I'm definitely a P on the Myers-Briggs scale. Anyway, had Tuesday class. Went to Bethlehem Chapel with art and architecture class this time. I was less enthusiastic on the second go. Budapest. Took a train around 5 in the morning, on it for 7 hours. Our Airbnb, my first, was beautiful and definitely spoiled me. It was a national holiday for Hungary that day, so they had a market set up by the Fisherman's Bastion. This trip, it was me, Grace, and Cal. Jackie couldn't come because she had to replace her lost passport. Yikes. We watched Kung Fu Panda and had tea and talked. It was nice. We went around to the sites of Budapest. We saw the Parliament Building, Hero Square, and some castle. And we went to a modern art museum and saw a newly restored Romanesque-style hall in a museum. Unfortunately, it was very rainy, which meant my shoes, socks, and feet were wet all weekend. Yay! We went from rainwater to bathwater at the Budapest Baths. It was so nice, so warm, relaxing, and we got to talk. That night, we went to some cool ruined bar, and they had an open mic night, so we watched some people perform. I drank nothing because my knowledge of alcohol is far too small to actually spend money on something I might not like. Still rainy, did not help my hormonal mood. We checked out a cathedral by the Fisherman's Bastion and then the National Art Gallery. It was so beautiful, so much art. We cut the day short out of unwillingness to spend more money or be out in the rain. It was more Kung Fu Panda 2 and tea. Cal left before us, so Grace and I wandered on a nearby island. It had snowed the night before, which I found preferable to never-ending rain. And on our way back home we went. Video chatted with Mom and Dad. Magic class was canceled. I worked on studying and writing for midterms. For class, we went to the Spanish synagogue, Pinkas synagogue, and the old Jewish cemetery. And you know how much I love cemeteries. After studying and writing my midterm paper on Alphonse Mucha, I had a Skype interview for a development internship at Shiv Hans Pictures. It went okay, I think. Still waiting to hear back. Had my Czech midterm, got a B, and turned in my Alphonse Mucha paper. DSG that night. Art at Schwarzenberg Palace for art and architecture. Got breakfast with Grace and Anna at the farm. Then went to makeup class for magic, where we had a test. Paid my Vodafone bill and packed my bag for Italy. We flew out that night and arrived in Milan at our hostel around midnight. We went to the Duomo di Milano and Sforza Castle. Milan also has a Chinatown, so we picked up some snacks and got boba. Definitely better than Berlin. Took the train to Verona, where we saw Juliet's house in the arena. My feet were dying due to breaking in new boots and pulling around my suitcase everywhere. Took the train to Venice and got in around 7:30 p.m. Grace and I went to the island for dinner and gelato and walked around. It was pretty cool, being there when few others were. We met up with Catherine to see the sights around Venice. Peggy Guggenheim Collection, Doge's Palace, Rialto Bridge, the big cathedral and clock, pizza and gelato for lunch. I paid €8 for a cone because I'm an idiot. And we learned Italians eat chips with their drinks, which seems fairly unclassy for Italy. We had awesome takeaway pasta and called it an early night. Grace and I went back to our Airbnb and watched Rise of the Guardians. Not gonna lie, Jack Frost is cute. Catherine, Grace, and I island hopped. First was Murano, where they make glass and make it hard to find an affordable lunch. Then Burano, full of color, where we got gelato. Then Torcello, where we went to see an old Romanesque cathedral with the most beautiful mosaic I have ever seen. It was such a nice, peaceful place. We had tea and coffee there. Back on the main island, we had a nice dinner. I got mushroom risotto, and Catherine and I split some Prosecco. I had 2 glasses, although I was already feeling tipsy after the first. That was my first time actually feeling intoxicated. I got a big pink, including my chest and dizzy. It was interesting walking around Venice at night like that. After a futile attempt to find pastries, we settled for gelato again. Off to Florence. We got the best panini I have ever had, although I also overate and gave myself a stomachache. We went to Orson Michel Church, then met up with Erica, another Ivy study abroader. We got amazing gelato, Eduardo's is the best, saw Santa Croce, then the Ponte Vecchio. Erica left, and I went back to the hostel because of my stomachache. I met up again with Grace at Piazzale Michelangelo for the sunset. It was so crowded. We got Chinese food for dinner, then headed back to the hostel. In our room was a girl around our age from the UK, a middle-aged woman from Ukraine, and a middle-aged woman from Canada. They were all quite nice. Got up early for Priti Palace, which had a cool costume/fashion exhibition. Pizza for lunch, then we went into the Duomo. It's really big, but I thought it was more impressive from the outside than in. We went over to Santo Spirito, where we ran into Catherine and Chelsea. I prefer the interior of Santo Spirito. So much art! Grace and I then got gelato at Gelateria de Neri, where I got the rice flavor. Then we went to the church by Piazzale Michelangelo. Gnocchi for dinner, then early retirement to hostel. Up early to go inside the baptistry, which was beautiful, and preferred to the Duomo Cathedral. Then we climbed the tower and got some lovely views. Then I went to the Uffizi and saw The Birth of Venus and La Primavera by Botticelli, and Artemisia Gentileschi's Judas slaying Holofernes. Then the Accademia, where I finally saw Michelangelo's David, my fave statue, man. And I got some boba, also better than Berlin, and went to the Museo dell'Opera, which is stunning. Then Grace and I climbed the dome of the Duomo, where we met a nice woman named Jessica. It was so beautiful up there. We got gelato from Eduardo's after as a reward and got dinner with Chelsea and Catherine. I got a glass of Chianti and I was feeling the flesh halfway through. I got better than with the Prosecco, but less tipsy feeling. The waiter kept teasing and asking if I was crying, which was annoying, but overall an awesome day. Off to Rome. We went to the Colosseum and Roman Forum, both of which were amazing. It's crazy how much history is just lying around every corner. We got pasta at this great little place and then went to the Trevi Fountain and Spanish Steps. A great day. We went to the Vatican Museum, which has so much and is beautiful. We saw the Sistine Chapel, God creating Adam. I don't know why, but I always imagined just that painting on the chapel ceiling, when in reality there's so many others. Pasta for lunch. We tried to go to the Basilica, but couldn't since it was Good Friday. We went to the church where the Ecstasy of St. Teresa is, and then the church Michelangelo's Moses is held. How do you just go to Mass every week with those masterpieces just sitting there? Then we got gelato, better in Florence, and headed home. Pompeii Day. Unfortunately, our train was late, which meant we missed out on another hour at the ruins. Alas. But the time we did have there was amazing. I'd read about Pompeii and obsessed over it since I was a kid. It's unreal. I want to go back so bad. We got pizza with Chelsea and Catherine in Naples, then back to Rome with them. And that's a wrap on my month of March in Prague / all the other places I went. I will be doing another installment soon covering other places and things I saw, so stay tuned. But otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all later.